Georgia, last year you guys played in the Super Bowl. This year, obviously, things were different. What went wrong for the 49ers?
I think the obvious answer is injuries. I felt like we had about 15 guys in IR by week 2 or 3. And when you have that many injuries, especially to, key players, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, I got injured week 1, Jimmy G got injured week 2. We lost a lot of guys early, and I think it just kind of, it prohibited us from getting that unity, getting that flow going as an offense. Our defense played at a high level all year, despite all the guys that they missed. But we just had so many guys in and out of the huddle early on in offense. I think that was a struggle for us, especially because we have a young team on offense as well. So, just got to stay healthy, and really, I'm not worried about anything else other than that.
How frustrating was it for you personally? You get that big contract, you set a new bar for the tight ends, and then you end up missing half the games.
All I ever want to do is play football. It was my dream to play in the NFL, and unfortunately, the NFL it's a physical business. It's a violent business, and injuries happen. So yeah, missing 8 games is not fun. So I was happy that I got to come back at the end of the year and play a little bit of ball. I got 2 games at the end, but missing games is not fun though. So just looking for ways to stay on the field, stay healthy the entire season.
George, there were speculation, rumors that the 49ers were interested in Matthew Stafford. He ends up getting traded to the LA Rams. The possibility of other quarterbacks coming to San Fran. Have you talked to Jimmy Garoppolo? And what do you think of all this speculation?
I think it's speculation. I think it's rumors. I think it's chatter. I think it's people on social media like to talk about things that I don't know if they have any idea about. Being in the building, being in the locker room, I don't really hear anything in there. So I'm confident in my quarterback. When he's healthy, he's a hell of a football player. And I have not talked to Jimmy about it, but I think it's his second or third year of dealing with these exact same rumors every single offseason. And he just comes back to work, and he just goes back and he plays. And I'm not worried about it. I think Jimmy's a grown man and he can deal with it. And he's a hell of a quarterback, like I said.
We saw you and Travis Kelce last year's Super Bowl. It's Gronk and Travis this year. Give me your breakdown of each guy.
Well, I do think it's key that you have to have a good tight end to make it to the Super Bowl, because that's obviously true in the last couple of years from Ertz and Gronk to me and Kelce, and now Gronk and Kelce. My breakdown of each, they're both superstars. It is what it is. Gronk is one of the best, if not the best, run blocking tight end in the NFL. I'd like to throw my name in that hat as well. He's just been doing it for a long time. But when you have a tight end that can dominate a defensive lineman and then go out in the play action pass, just kind of keeps the defense on their heels. So Gronk's unique. He's probably one of the only guys that can ever do everything that he does because of his size and his ability. And then Travis, just how their offense works, they get the ball in his hands, and he's just so explosive when he gets the ball in his hands. And he also knows how to get open everywhere. So he's just running wide open all over the field, and he's got a good quarterback to throw him the ball. And so, they're both explosive superstars, and it's going to be really fun to watch them both just absolutely go off in the Super Bowl.
You mentioned run blocking. I heard Gronk say, if you can block, you stick around longer. What is it about run blocking that you personally like?
What isn't there to like, man? Everything about it's amazing. My favorite quote is, moving a man from point A to point B against his will is the greatest feeling you ever feel. And I 100% believe in that, because when you take a 290-pound defensive end and you drive him back 6 yards or plant him on his back, it's a very thrilling experience. But at the same time, if you're good in the run game, it opens up everything in the pass game. And offenses that use a lot of play action, when you're dominating the run game, linebackers and safeties have to step up a little bit, come down, and then all of a sudden you're running behind the linebackers and you're getting a ball at 10 yards, being able to rumble and tumble downfield for an extra 30. So yeah, the run game is the best part of football.
George, I read that your dad, Bruce, writes you a letter before each game that you read on the bus on the way to the stadium. When did he start that, and what kind of messages is he giving you?
Wow. He started that my freshman year of college, really, or my first year. So my redshirt freshman year when I started playing in Iowa. But it started as more of just a way for him to, stay in contact with me. Cause when your kid goes to college, you stop talking as much because the kid's so busy, hanging out with his friends and playing football and all that stuff. And so it was just a way for him to stay connected with me. And then over the years, the letters evolved, and, it became a part of my routine, and my routine is something that I'm very strict with. And I try to keep it consistent as I can. And so when I got to the NFL, he's like, do you want me to keep writing letters? I was like, you're not going to stop, because it's part of the reason why I'm here. And the letters consist of, I mean, it's everything from a personal note from my dad. He breaks down the opposing team that we're playing, the stadium, the fans, gives a little history report on it all. I mean, it's anywhere from like a 3-page to a 10-page paper, depending on the game. But it's full of like images and stuff like that too. I mean, somehow correlates every letter into like a movie or a book that we read and or watched together growing up. So they're always really fun. It's kind of a nostalgic trip every single time I read a letter.
That's really special, man. George, I know you're a big wrestling fan, so I got to ask you, are you more jealous of Gronk's Super Bowl rings or him winning the WWE 24/7 championship at WrestleMania 36?
Super Bowl, but it's a close second. I would have to say I'd love to win a belt in WWE. That'd be really fun. I already said I would jump through a table, so I'm just trying to double down on that so I get an invite.
I grew up in the Hulk Hogan era, and my all-time favorite is Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Who's your guy? Stone Cold, The Rock? I know he tweeted at you, and that would be pretty cool.
All time, yeah, Stone Cold and The Rock are very high up there just because they're superstar personality and how different they are, but how everybody loves them. I just think that's awesome. Current date, Seth Rollins is my guy because he's from Davenport, Iowa. I got to go to his wrestling school a couple times. So, but I like the product that's out there right now, and I appreciate it. But hey, your favorite's Ric Flair. Charlotte Flair is the best women's wrestler in my opinion. So yeah, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She's pretty talented.
That's awesome. George, tell me about Bolt 24 by Gatorade, how you've been incorporating Bolt 24 into what you do in the off-season, part of your routine.
Well, I'm really excited to be working with Gatorade. You know, it's a company, it's a product that I've been using my entire life. And so just the opportunity to work with them is pretty special. And it, kind of feels like a dream. But yeah, drinking Bolt 24, it's the good stuff. It's how I stay hydrated 24/7. My favorite thing about it is it's made with watermelon water and no artificial flavors or sweeteners. And so you can kind of drink it 24/7, which I think is really cool. And it's not unhealthy. There's not too much sugar in it, but allows you to stay hydrated and at the top of your game all the time.
Well, I saw their logo behind all the guys during media day the other day at the Super Bowl. So now we know a little bit more about it, and everybody can check it out at drinkbolt24.com. George, an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes.
Hey, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.